Hey, 4.1 million of y'all saw my video telling you to stop saving up to buy a house, but to save up to build a house. Cobb, Adobe, Earth and Ship, Rammed Earth, whatever. A lot of y'all were in the comments spreading misinformation and we're not having that, so let's squash that and get the information correct. Actually sit down and pay attention, okay? None of that scrolling shit. This will actually help you. This isn't just another doom scroll video, okay? Pay attention. For a generation that is so hooked on AI, it surprises me how little people actually research and use Google. For those of you who are actually interested in doing this, go onto YouTube and search up This Cobb House. The guy on there, he's incredible. He's a professional, he is an engineer. He physically shows you and teaches you how to do modern engineering with ancient architecture and bring them together so you can build a modern Cobb House. Earth and Ship, Rammed, whatever you want. Some of y'all are in the comments, well actually this is only good for hot climates. It is not good for tropical and them. I have no idea what you're talking about. Google is free. And I just need to make this clear because some of y'all, listen, this kind of building is seen all over the world, okay? The only place that it is not widely recognized is America. In America, you typically only see this in the southern states. A good portion of Americans are just a little too pretentious to do something like this. No, I don't want to live in dirt. Your walls hollow? Yeah? How well do you think that's going to hold up against a tornado? That was one of the concerns y'all brought up in the comments. Well, what about tornadoes? What about floods? What about hurricanes? What about this? First of all, okay, hollow walls are so bad. Shit can get trapped in there like mold, mildew, animals, pests, rodents, and in the event of a fire, all it does is circulate the heat and make your house burn up more. You fully understand in this day and age, things aren't made to last. What do you think houses are? Not made to last. The natural style of homes have lasted tens and thousands of years once you have made it correctly. Once made correctly, these houses outlive your entire bloodline. These houses have lasted dust storms, tornadoes, dust tornadoes, the work. What about hurricanes? How the hell are you expecting a house to withstand a hurricane? Your current house couldn't withstand a hurricane. What do you mean? Truth be told, I would rather go through a hurricane with a Cobb or Adobe house instead of an actual house. Why? Because the walls are breathing. Because of the type of materials that are used to create the walls, the house is now fireproof. Yes, it is actually fucking fireproof. And the walls are breathable, like I said. What does that mean? Mold cannot live. Mold cannot thrive in your house. That is a huge win. So if you're assuming these are only for hot climates and not for tropical, you are wrong. So if you go through a hurricane in a normal house and your basement floods or your house floods, you're going to have a lot bigger cleanup than just the water. You're going to have mildew, you're going to have mold, you're going to have all sorts of damages that you just simply cannot afford to repair. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If your insurance doesn't cover a flash flood or a hurricane or anything else like that, you are going to look at thousands and thousands of dollars worth of repairs versus in a Cobb or Adobe or Earth, whatever the fuck you want to do, the cost is going to be significantly less. And in terms of tornadoes, let me remind you, once you have let the house cure, kind of like how you let wet concrete cure into solid concrete, that's what happens with the house. It becomes a solid concrete mass. It is firm. So if you try and punch one of these walls, you're either going to fracture or break something in your hand. It's not just something you scratch and dirt comes down. No. With houses, they have structural frames that kind of help sway in the wind. That way it kind of balances out the wind and the tornadoes. That same procedure is done within these houses as well. It's not just going to be this half-assed project, oh, throw a house together, are you done? No. There actually is structural integrity. If you wanted to use just plain old wood, you can. Lumber is expensive though. Some people use green bamboo, which is an excellent choice because it is strong and it helps move. It's a whole thing. The skeleton is just as important as it is in a normal house. A lot of people are asking, well, what about winter climates and this and that? Y'all can easily go on Google or on DeepSeek, do your research, whatever. But with colder climates, yes, it is still very possible. You just have to critique the mixture a little bit, make it more worthy for the colder climates. When I say Cobb, Adobe, Earth and Ship, Rammed Earth, when I say all these things, it's not just different names for the same concept. They have their own way of building. They're all just different ways of doing natural builds. There are plenty of people in colder climates that were actually able to do this. You just have to look into it. There's multiple different ways that you can do it. All you have to do is make sure that your walls and your floors are properly insulated. Make sure it can withstand the elements. Some people even put heated floors in, which is very possible. Plumbing, electrical, everything, nothing is different. The only thing different about these is what the walls are made out of. I do suggest building a few fireplaces in colder climates as well as taking that extra step for the insulation. But yes, it is still very possible. With these houses, you are not limited to the natural resources that are listed. You can use brick, you can use stone, you can use concrete, you can use whatever you want. It's just not hollow. It's not whatever the fuck this is made out of. Some of y'all were rage baiting saying, well, where's your Cobb house? Can't wait to see yours, this and that. I am in the middle of repairing this house so I can get more money out of it, so I can sell it, so I can buy some land and build it there. It's not very cute of you at all, is it? And I don't necessarily have to be in that house currently to know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't have to be involved with something or do something in order to support it. Just like you don't have to be a woman to support women, but look at you now. The most crucial part about all of this is the linseed oil. That is what is going to seal the home and make it waterproof. I also want to use limestone and lime wash. Absolutely crucial. A few of y'all are saying, oh no thank you, I want a Gothic Victorian home, I want this kind of house, I want that kind of house. You understand that you can build it, right? Like, the whole point of this is that you can build your own home however you please. There are people out there who do this as just a fun hobby, who go into the woods, and I literally saw a man build one of these houses with it looking like the front door was the mouth of a bear. Like, you walk into the jaws and you open the door and then inside is like this little tent. It was extremely fucking detailed. He did an amazing job. You have to understand, with this kind of build, you are free to do whatever you want, which is why I'm having so many issues with the blueprint, because I have so much freedom to build whatever I want. I don't know what exactly I want. You're not just confined to these boxes or these frames or whatever that we have modern today. People are talking about the cost of it and the cost of land. Y'all didn't see the video of me actually going through this, so let me say it again. $400,000 house could be rebuilt out of these materials for about $100,000. Granted, yes, the variation is a little bit different if you wind up using lumber instead of green bamboo or whatever other options there are. Because again, lumber is very expensive right now. Everybody's worried about the cost of land. I can confidently say, because I have seen it for myself, that y'all are assuming that and you are not actually looking for land. People are concerned about the cost of land, and I can confidently say, because I have seen it with my own eyes, that y'all are actually not looking for land. Just the other week I went on Realtor and I saw 2 different properties. One was $2,000, which is $8 a month by the way, for 2 acres. That was in Illinois. Then I saw another property in Illinois that was about a little over 2 acres for $9,000. That's about $46 a month, somewhere around there. You can afford land. Where you want to afford land is where the variation comes into play. Can you do this in the city? No. Cities have too many restrictions. Really, what you want to do is go into unincorporated counties or unrestricted land. Unrestricted land is very expensive. Yes, if you want to do unrestricted land, it is very expensive, but there's a reason behind it. Nobody can touch your land, not even the government. Whereas where you're living now, the government can just come through any day and be like, oh, sorry, evicting, we're doing something here. It's a little bit different than the state saying, hey, we'll buy your house because we want to build a highway on your house. They can't do that. The best way for you to build this, if you want to remain in the United States, because it is a lot easier to build this outside the states, is to go for county or unincorporated county in very rural areas. So if you live in a random city in Florida or California, no, you're not obviously going to be able to do this. Each state has too much control over cities. For me personally, I live in an unincorporated area in Missouri, and I have already talked to my county. Although I cannot build a secondary house on top of this property because it's only one house at a time, I can demolish this house if I want to and rebuild Cobb over it. But I'm not ready for that cost experience. All they said is that it has to follow basic regulations of electrical, plumbing, basically make a safe house. The material doesn't matter. I even took it a step further. I explained the materials, I explained the process to them, and they went into their archives trying to find anything and everything, and they found nothing restricting that kind of build. As long as you follow code, you are perfectly fine. Basically, don't have wires hanging from the ceiling. Don't do your plumbing incorrectly to where it floods the house or whatever the fuck. AKA, do it the right way. Don't half-ass it. It's cheaper, it's safer, it's just all around better for you. The only downfall is the labor. Hard to find a contractor in America. Do your research. If you have stayed this long, comment fireproof with a question mark for those who did not stay this long. It might advertise them to actually see the whole video.